Alright, welcome to another video. So we are in first position, and most likely we're going to get this 8, 5, 10 spot. It locks our competitors out of the ore and wheat. It's a lot of ore and wheat. Great starting settlement. Plus the 8 and the 5 are really the two biggest ore spots. So 8, 5, 10 is most likely what I'm going to pick. Let's see if there's any other options. We will want sheep, but I don't anticipate that being too difficult. I mean, this 5, 10 could be open because someone will likely want to place on the 9, 3, 10 to get some ore. So we are just going to go ahead and do this. So it's interesting. This game, we are now rated 16-10, so our competitors are getting a little bit better each time. Orange is already calling out the fact that fourth position on this board is tough, and he is very correct. There's not going to be a ton of great spots for fourth position. For second position, let's see. Blue, the 3, 9, 10, or the 3, 8, 10. There's a little bit less wood on the board, which makes me think the 3, 9, 10 might be a good spot. Something that the competitors are probably thinking about is production. So the 9, 5, 10 might be the best move because it's more flexible. He's going to be on a lot of wood that he can port out. And if his second position includes sheep, such as the 3, 5, 10, then that 9, 5, 10 actually could be a great settlement placement. But the question is what you'd pair that with. And everyone's going to want to get on a little bit of ore. So, yeah, the 3, 5, 4 would be my other thought. He's going to want to get on some brick to pair with the wood, and he's going to want wheat. So I can see him going on the 11, 6 on the way back and going towards the wheat. Okay, orange takes the 3, 10, 8. Also makes sense. I think I would have gone for the 9, 3, 8 here, but what is smart about this is the fact that someone's going to be taking the 3, 10, 5, yep, which means that I won't be able to take that sheep wheat spot. So orange will probably want to take this 4, 11, 9 and go off to the ore. Yep. Because the 3 ore is not going to be enough. So, and blue, I think is going to go in the 11, 6 and go towards the wheat. Or, you could always take this 3 to 1, 2. Maybe even snag my 3 to 1 at the wheat port. Both not horrible options. We could also see him go 6, 4, 2 just to block me out of sheep. But if he did that, I could always go on the 11, 6 and go down to this 12, 6, 11. But he decides to go on the 12, 6, 11. Interesting. So he's going to try to go for the 11, 6. That makes sense. Or the 9, 12. Now, this is interesting. We'll probably want to go on this 6, 4, 2. The only problem is we have a huge weakness, and that's the fact that we're only on one wheat spot, and that's going to get blocked quite often. And if these players are good, which I'm sure they are, they're going to be blocking me quite a bit this game. Let's see, is there any other spot that we can take? I mean, I could take this 3 to 1. That would definitely make it a little bit harder for green. And it's a lot of production. I am definitely considering it. It'll help us get to our wheat too. So the question is, do we want to go on the sheep 6-4-2 and go up to the 3-1, or want the 3-1 right off the bat with brick? Well, the thing is, we're going to be porting most of this brick, since we're not going to be going for road here. I mean, we could go to the 11, but whereas the sheep will be more useful for me. And it'll be nice to get a little bit of wood since there's low wood on this board. So I think we will do this. And go off to the left. We are going to block green here since we know he has 2 brick. But we get his wheat. Oh, he had the 9-10-5 for his second placement. So that was a mistake by me. These players are going to be really strong. They're going to know not to trade too often with me because my whole game depends on getting to these expansion spots. And I would say my competitors have pretty decent placements. Who do we want to block here? I think green has the best setup, so we are going to keep blocking green. We get a sheep. We are going to pick up a dev card here because we know we're going to get blocked, so we're going to want to go for army. And a lot of the dev cards will actually help us early on in this game. So green's pretty angry. Right off the bat, understandable, I blocked him twice. But he does have the best settlement, or the best setup, I think. Besides maybe me. But what green has going for him is this 3-1 port, and he has a lot of production. Okay, so we're going to 4-4 on our sheep. To get on this 3-1. Because we know blue is not going to try to road settle on the 3. Wouldn't make any sense. That being said, he could always try to sneak his way to the 3-6. Blue has strong placement potential as well, so he's going to probably steal from me here. Yep, gets my sheep, that's fine. And let's see, we want to rob from blue for sure. We get the ore. So blue, once he gets on the 9, he will be pretty dangerous. And he'll definitely be able to compete with army for us. So we are going to have to keep blocking blue here. Now, where do we block blue is the question. Green's also not doing too bad. So I think we will block green one more time. We get the wheat. That's okay. Okay, we have a city now. So orange cuts off green here, which is very good for our game. I think green has a really strong setup here. Interesting, and he takes from... Definitely don't want to give 2 cards here. We don't need it. So I was thinking about trading for the brick, but I think it makes the most sense to get a city here. And if a 10 rolls, we can always get another city or 4 for 1, which I might actually end up doing. And we do have the wheat. So the question is to city again or 4 for 1. I think I am going to 4 for 1, even though it makes... I'm on plenty of ore, and the 3 for 1 port will help me tremendously. And I can still get a dev card, so I think this is the smartest play at this point. See if anyone takes this. Doesn't look like anyone will. Unfortunately, we don't want to help green out at all, so we're going to 4 for 1 instead, because we'll be able to completely empty our hand anyway, and we get the mono. Okay, now our priority is going to be cities. And I'm sure I'm going to be using this mono mostly for wheat. Because if these players are playing well, they're going to block that 10 the most. Because that's what I rely on to make anything happen with all this ore. The 3 to 1 definitely helps now. It makes our sheep a little bit more usable. Okay, so our 10 hits, that's nice. So we know he wants the sheep for the settlement, so unless he gives 2 cards here, I don't think anyone's going to trade with him. Especially because that 5 ore is going to help his game tremendously. Okay, that's huge. We will go for the 2 dev cards here because we're going to be getting blocked quite often. And we know we want to go for largest army here. We're going to steal from blue because we don't want him to get on the wheat. We're still gonna. So we could get a city or we can get 2 depth cards. I think we're gonna get 2 depth cards here. It's more important that we're able to defend ourselves. And any depth card we get at this point isn't going to be bad. We're on plenty of ore, so I'm not very worried about that. The next city is going to be on the 642. There's the city. So we're in a really good spot at this point. Blue needs to block me here. And his best block is going to be the 10. But he blocks the 6. 6 makes sense as well. Because anytime a 6 hits, I'll get a free card, and that does hit more often. Blue's more the wheat's more actionable though. I think the wheat's still a better block here. Because I still have the 4, and as long as I have 3 resources at my disposal, I can still get some lucky rolls and make something happen with it. So there's that 10 hitting. And there's the 5. Okay. We need a sheep here, and we got another wheat. That's okay, because we have our 3-to-1 port. So right now we're looking pretty solid. Hopefully the 3 dev cards I have in my hand look pretty intimidating. And make people not want to invest in army because they see that I have it locked down. Orange monos the ore. Hopefully, I mean, he should get at least 2 cities out of that. But orange, I think, is my next big threat here. Yep, good call. Should block me again on the 10. Or on the 8. I think the 8's a worse block, but... no one's going to trade with me, so I'm not even going to try. So at this point, it's absolutely necessary that we get army as soon as possible. I'm not too worried. Hopefully we see a 10 hit. And then we'll either mono the wheat or we'll mono the ore. It looks like a lot of people have ore at this point, so what's needed right now is wheat. I don't know if very much wheat is on the board at all, actually. Yeah, everyone needs wheat. Orange offering 4 cards for 1 wheat, which if anyone had it, so there's actually no wheat on the board, because if anyone had wheat, they would make that trade. So orange has to 4 for 1. At this point, that's what he needs to do. I mean, he has 8 cards, and he still needs to, he still 7's out here, so that's why he was trading such crazy cards. So green probably going to block the 6. Yep, makes sense. Now, if a 10 rolls, So a 4 hit. Let's see. It's possible I might want to mono the sheep here, which I know sounds crazy, but I'm going to 7 out, and it'll make my cards actionable, and there's a lot of sheep out on the table right now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Definitely not as good as I thought it was going to be. I'm basing it off the question marks there in the corner. I think I'm going to do this just in case. I could have got the city there, but at this point I think it's very feasible that I get that last city, so I need to lock down army. So this could be the end of the game here shortly. I just need one more good card to hit. If a 4 hits, a 10 hits, and 8 hits, then I'll take the game. So who do we want to block? We'll steal from blue here again. Maybe we'll pull for it, see what happens. And we got it. That was a pretty quick game. We had a really good setup. So let's look at the map real quick. So that 8, 5, 10 is a really good spot. In my experience, the person who's on the most amount of ore to start ends up doing the best. And then bonus points if you're on the most amount of ore and wheat, which I had for my first settlement. 4th position had a really, really tough go. I think they made the most of it. Green had a good setup in terms of production. Orange taking that port from him really, really screwed him over. It made his sheep a lot less actionable. And he just wasn't on enough ore. I think we played a solid game. The 6-4-2 is definitely the better placement, because once we got on that 3-1 and this 6 was rolling, we could move our resources a lot quicker. I don't think we 7'd out once, which is why you want to get on those ports very soon. My opponents, they should have stolen from me every time. If you have a setup like this, you need to steal from me every single time. I noticed a couple times they stole from other players. The second you ramp up with a setup like this, it's just game over for the other players. And I think we saw that once we got on the 3-1 port. I don't think my players played a bad game at all. I mean, it was a quick game. And that was because I was on so much ore and wheat. So there was not much our competitors can do. I think Orange actually had the best chance. He was on enough wood and brick to be able to connect. And he had a lot of flexibility with the 10 and the 5. So I think the best move for him was to city up that 5-11 and then connect his road. And then he would have had a good shot at competing with me. But nevertheless, we're at 16-23 now. Great game. The 11 didn't hit once. Our numbers hit pretty well. And they're also lucky with the dev cards. I mean, 3 dev card rolls is not bad. So, definitely a great game. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you would have done anything different if you were one of my opponents or me in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear, too, if you have any recommendations on how the opponents could have made something of this game, or if it was just kind of inevitable with the setups from the beginning. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.